Principal Secretary, State Department of University Education and Research, Dr. Beatrice Muganda Inyangala, the Honorable Charity Kathambi Chepkwony, MP for Njoro, members of the Egerton University Council, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Isaac Kibwage, Deputy Vice Chancellors, Professor Richard Mulwa and Professor Bernard Aduda, members of the Egerton University Senate, deans of faculties and directors of schools and institutes, chairs of departments, members of the teaching and non-teaching staff, members of the Egerton University Students Association, graduates, continuing students, members of the Egerton University alumni, represented by, you saw Dr. Rono, who gave us a beautiful speech, parents, guardians, and friends of graduates and friends of Egerton University who are present here with us today, and those watching us online and listening to this graduation ceremony from wherever you are on this planet, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm aware we have other people who have come in. We have the Regional Commissioner for Rift Valley. I would like to recognize all those who are present, people who work in our counties, whether they are MCAs, CECs, COs, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to another happy day in the university calendar in which 1,287 graduates are going to be awarded degrees and diplomas of Egerton University. Hearty congratulations to you all and to your lecturers, your professors, your parents, your guardians, your kith and kin, and all who supported you to realize your dreams of clinching that well-deserved, so much cherished, much coveted diploma or degree, be it a bachelor's, a master's, or a PhD, for which you have worked so hard. Today, Friday, the 10th of February, 2022, is a turning point, a watershed in your lives. Like an elegant and beautiful thing that is fluttering in my mind, you will undergo a metamorphosis from a pupa to an adult butterfly and leave the gates of Egerton flying on your very own wings. If that is not freedom, then I don't know what freedom is all about. You are free, aren't you? Huh? We saw you demonstrating here, telling us what you studied and what you are worth. And that was graduate participation. They themselves telling us who they are and what they are. Congratulations. Mr. Chancellor, sir, at every graduation, all the speakers generally give words of advice to graduates. I won't be any different. The world out there is waiting to receive you. Some of you will have a soft landing. Some perhaps a hard landing out there, but I do hope no one will suffer a crash landing. I think all those who have supported you up to this point will continue to support you, at least for some time. Mgeni siku ya kwanza, siku ya pili, nyinyi ni wageni sasa Umekuwa wakubwa, umekuwa graduates, lakini mgeni siku ya tatu atapatiwa jembe. So don't be too comfortable in your parents' homes. You have to look for your own. But I suppose they will support you until you are economically up and about on your own 2 feet. Mr. Chancellor, sir, I would like to stick to the theme of today's 46th graduation, which is excellent and relevant education in an ever-changing world. That is the theme of this graduation. Excellent and relevant education in an ever-changing world. On reflecting on this theme, I thought it's quite wide for a short statement that I'm going to give. I chewed it a bit, so to speak, and picked on critical skills you will need in an ever-changing world. The students who entertained us here talked about climate change. The poet talked about she's not selfish, she's a fish seller. We had many things. I digested this further and zeroed on Critical thinking as what you will badly need in an ever-changing world. Musioka called it in accounts an ever ongoing, what did you call it, Musioka? A continuing work in progress. Work in progress, is it? Yes, our valedictorian called it work in progress. So, my choice of a few words, critical thinking, it is. Critical thinking. Now, the world out there keeps on changing, and quite rapidly. It's not the same world in which your predecessors graduated into 2 or even 3 years ago, even last year. No, it has changed already. You will be grappling with more competition for employment, a rising cost of living, a devastating drought precipitated by climate change, in which both livestock and wildlife have been decimated, a community in which issues of food security, of what to eat, what to drink, is discussed everywhere and every time. You have heard recently of a devastating earthquake in Turkey, Syria, in which nearly 20,000 people have perished, just like that. It's a changing world. You will go into rural settings in our country where issues of water, firewood, electricity will be talked about. And in all these, rather frightening as they may seem at first, solutions are required. You are graduating today not to go out there and be a crybaby, no, who is part of the problem, no, but as a fresh graduate from Egerton with new ideas, who will be part of the solution. Mr. Chancellor, sir, to be a problem solver in an ever-changing home and work environment, you must be a critical thinker. You may ask what critical thinking is all about. It involves always questioning, gathering relevant information based on real-time data and on verifiable evidence. It involves thinking through solutions, generating different scenarios as you seek solutions to problems, costing your possible interventions, how much does it cost, and making informed choices. Now, critical thinking involves conceptualizing, having an idea about, conceptualizing, analyzing, breaking into smaller parts, synthesizing, putting smaller parts together to build a bigger picture, synthesizing, and evaluating. And that is not all. It involves generating new knowledge through keen observation, as scientists do, as you do, you graduates do, keen observation, listening attentively, as you graduates do, reflecting, reasoning, discussing, as philosophers do, and as you do. And all this leading to persuasion, conviction, belief, and finally, action. Without action, kazi potea, energy potea, action. It's no point talking about problems. You have to solve it. Critical thinkers are also great communicators. They are eloquent and efficient and effective at both spoken and written communication. I'm glad Vice Chancellor has talked about written. You have essays. Chancellor has sponsored you. It will come later in my words also. They are master of language, you know, these critical thinkers, and good at persuasion, diplomacy, and winning support. When you interact with critical thinkers, Mr. Chancellor, sir, you quickly find out who they are. You know, they are usually inquisitive, curious, they are questioning and are well informed. They are not ignorant people. They are confident in their demeanor, they are open-minded, they are flexible in decision-making. Flexible, not fixed. You may make a decision today, but if there is evidence to change your decision, you better be flexible. Nothing is written in stone. They avoid, critical thinkers avoid emotional reasoning. They focus on an issue to be dealt with one issue at a time, examine evidence, and they are tolerant of divergent views. I'm sure that we have our honorable MP here. There are divergent views in Parliament, but you must be tolerant of divergent views. They observe etiquette and only interrupt a conversation at the right moment without offending the others. You know, they navigate through and filter in disinformation or misinformation from what appears to be correct information, what appears to be correct information. Mr. Chancellor, sir, let us consider just a few examples of critical thinkers in real life. Otherwise, I was theorizing too much. A civil or construction engineer must think critically, not only when designing a bridge, but also when deciding whether a suspension or a conventional bridge is more suitable than the other across a stretch of water to the land yonder, to the land beyond. And which of the alternatives is more cost-effective or less time-consuming? The engineer will consider both the beauty and elegance of the bridge to have an artistic appeal and its utility or utilitarian value. Let's go to another example, a judge. We have had our learned friends demonstrating here something. A judge must think critically and decide whether a certain case is best handled in court or out of court or through arbitration by a third party. A medical doctor, another example, must think critically to decide whether a particular patient with a certain ailment is better treated using medication or through a surgical intervention. The doctor must find out whether the patient is allergic to certain drugs and how urgent the treatment should be. That needs critical thinking. And so, in addition to your degrees, I want you to leave the gates of Egerton as critical thinkers. Mr. Chancellor, sir, when you are skilled in critical thinking, you have the power to think beyond what you see and beyond what you hear. You are likely to be a member of a team player, and not a loner in addressing issues in your work. No, team player. Consult. An important partner in critical thinking is today emerging technology. You must keep abreast of and keep pace with new technologies. Today, with the advent of the internet, whatever job you do, you need information and communications technology, ICT, which keeps you on the information superhighway. You must constantly build your skills through upskilling and through reskilling to take advantage of new technologies in areas such as artificial intelligence and robotics, mobile telephony, with its many applications that make your work easier and gives you information at the press of a key or at a voice prompt or Google Maps guiding you to places that you have never been to before. So, let information, ICT, be your companion at all times, 24/7. Mr. Chancellor, sir, to be relevant today and to be relevant tomorrow, you must be, as a critical thinker, be imbued with a sense of curiosity, of exploration, and creativity. Every day is a school day. Can I repeat that? Every day? Even for me, even for Vice Chancellor, even for Chancellor, even for Principal Secretary. Every day is a school day. Every day we learn. But you must have that humility to open up your minds to learning. If you are not that open, you cannot learn. You must open your minds to new learning and be informed. In this way, you will be resilient and able to cope with the new challenges, even of climate change, even of earthquakes, even of COVID-19 or other pandemics. The next part of my speech is I want to skip it because it's a bit repetitive of what the Chancellor has said. He talked about the essay writing competition. I want to skip it and just congratulate those who have won prizes 1 to 5, and those who have been supported through scholarship by our Chancellor. And I want to thank our Chancellor for his generous and kind heart and support. I also would like to thank, in reference to the essay writing, I would like to thank those members of staff who took the trouble to read through all those essays, to mark them carefully, and to select the winners. In particular, I would like to thank Professor Emilia Ilieva, Professor of Literature, who has been coordinating this effort. Let me conclude. I've skipped 2 paragraphs to save time. Finally, I wish you the best of everything good as you leave the gates of Egerton University. I look forward to connecting, to partnering, and working with you as you join the alumni. Dr. Rono, thank you very much for your speech. There is a lot of work we have to do as alumni in support of Egerton University. And I want the graduates to join us, to join the alumni, register. You have pledged to support. Please support those who come after you. It's only the right, the human thing to do. In that role, please continue supporting our alma mater, your alma mater, so that those who come after you will also benefit. With those many remarks, and they are not very few, God bless you.